Okay, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Chris Bradley, owner of the MRR agency and fitnessads.ai. Today's a little bit different. I want to talk to the people who are over the age of 28. If you're a mature 25, 26, then you can keep watching. But I guess I'm speaking from experience here. I was a bit of a wild idiot for the age of 20 to 25 until I became a PT. So I was a late bloomer when it comes to maturity. There's a lot of coaches we help right now who are like 22, 23 and just years ahead of where I was at that age. So age is all relative, I get that. But when I go on to talk about what I'm going to talk about, you'll probably realise that it's not so much age I'm talking about here. It is the individual, it's the person, it's maturity, it's your development as a person and as a business owner. And I've just noticed this recently as I've aged. See, I'm over 28, just a few years. And I've noticed a shift in myself. I've noticed my shift in priorities. And from the age of 25 to 30, I was a personal trainer and then became a gym owner. And it's very difficult because throughout that full time, I had grown my business through social media. And so there's this weird feeling you get as a business owner if you're heavily reliant on social media to grow it, is you kind of have to be obsessed with it. You kind of have to be obsessed with people seeing your stuff and therefore reacting to your stuff and therefore buying from you from seeing your stuff. So it's this kind of like cycle that you have to go on, and there's this weird feeling where you're on your social media a lot, but it's for business, but you're actually just telling yourself that and you're using and your consumption is through the roof. It's a weird feeling. And I think it's one that as you go through the years of growth and start to realise there's other ways to grow a business, you start to feel a bit like you've wasted a lot of time using the platform. And I think now I've posted like over 3,000 times on the platform and it's paid me handsomely. Like posting content on a free app has changed my life. I'm in the position I am today because of posting an image or a video on a free app. Think of that for a minute. So it's been great. But as time progresses and as you progress as an individual and a person, you need to get off the social media game. So the first game you play is the popularity game. Whether you admit it or not, you are reliant on people to like you. You post on social media, you post your business, you post your own life, you post your story, you post pictures of you out for dinner, you post pictures of you on holiday, you put stuff on your story about what you eat in the morning all the way through to how you feel. So there's no doubt about it, the game of social media is to socialise and in your social circle have people put you on a scale of popularity or likability. So you play the popularity game, that's the point of it, right? Now if you don't agree with me on that, then why do you post your personal life? I like it. No, you like getting liked. That's the facts. You just have to look at the reason these social applications are so successful. It's because human psychology. We want to be liked, we want to follow people, we want to be nosy, and we want to also be appreciated by people. So you play this popularity game and you don't really know you're in it, you just keep playing it. And all of a sudden you go, wow, you might not be as bad as some people where you're like crying in the video and being an absolute wet wipe to get attention, but you're still playing it all the way up to those types of people where you're realizing that people respond to your stuff. You can tell that you're likable because your following is way more than other people on the average. And people like your stuff, they comment on your stuff, and you're like, right, I must be likable here. You can be authentic and stuff, that's cool, but you're still doing it for popularity. That's still your purpose, right? And then you realize like, right, am I going to keep doing this forever? Like, am I going to keep posting content for other people? Because what happens a lot of the time as well with PTs, like, and personal trainers, like, and if they don't post their physique, they feel irrelevant. Now, we don't typically work with these type of business owners because all they focus on is their own fitness. But as soon as they're not dieting or doing a show or doing a performance-based event, they're irrelevant. Because guess what? The people move on to the next person, and the next person's more popular than you, and you wonder why your Instagram's not performing, no one cares about you, and that's when you do another panic diet or you do another competition to get that likability factor. And you're just going to put that in a nice, pretty bow and just say I need to grow my business, when actually you're trying to grow your popularity. So then comes the next part, the next phase that you move into, which is the maturity shift. This is when you start to mature and you start to realize, like, do you know what? I'm 28 now, I'm going to start a family soon, or I want to move abroad, or I want to be taken more seriously, or I want more opportunities to attract a higher caliber of client. So then you have to be mature, and with that maturity, you have to let a lot of things go. You have to let that feeling to be liked and that feeling for people to not get disheartened by what you say. And another way to tell people are playing the popularity game and not the maturity game is like they don't say anything. They're too scared to piss people off, so they beat about the bush with everything. I'm not saying you have to be controversial just in order to be mature, but you have to have an opinion. You're 28, you're 29, whatever it is, you've surely got opinions. And that's when you can tell if you still have all the same people liking your stuff and comment on your stuff, your little fans that you've got, then it's just because you haven't been able to find your people yet. You're just trying to find everybody and you're trying to be liked by everybody. And you're not playing a maturity game, so you have to make that maturity shift. Will that mean you'll get less likes and less attention? Yep, 100%. But you'll start to build a thing that lasts. If you're building on popularity, there is a time bomb, right? Between you waking up one day and going, I actually can't be bothered like telling people what I had for breakfast. Can't be bothered having to play this fake game for social media. I want a quiet life, right? And then that moves into the next part of it, which is you're trying to build a business for freedom and to have a life, not for fake fame or micro influencer status. Because like I said before, you are irrelevant in the grand scheme of people's life. But if you base your whole life around people finding you worthy, then you're literally wasting your life. And it's only when you speak to very, very old people about, what's one advice you'd give to somebody who's younger and stuff, it's like, don't care what people think. And I think back to like 4 years ago when I was on Instagram posting content, and I think all the people who used to like my post first and they used to reply to my stories, none of them are here anymore. They're all gone. Why? Because I've been able to get rid of the people because I've matured. And when you mature, the people who follow along, they see your maturity and they opt out or they opt in. More often than not, they opt out because your maturity and your progress gives a mirror back to them of their lack of maturity and growth and lack of progress. So as you get to 28, 30 and you hear people who are 40, 50, and they're more assured on this because time reveals what really matters in life, and time reveals who really matters in your life. So I guess what I'm trying to do here is speed up your learning with it, because quite frankly, life is too short for you to be playing the game of popularity for too long. Now, popularity, right? If you imagine you starting your business and you're quite popular and likable, you will shoot up and you will grow a very good business based on popularity alone. But then you get to here and you go, and you have to try and keep that popularity up. And as you go back down the mountain and you go, wow, why is people not liking my stuff as much anymore? Why are they not replying? Why am I not getting these fans messaging me? And then you have to do something that raises your popularity again. And most of the time it's not business. It's you doing something personal to get people to like you, whether it's a diet, whether it's you say stuff, you try and buy clothes or you buy things that you can't afford. And then you go back up and people go, oh, I like you because look at your nice thing you've got and this materialistic thing. And you go, thank God, popularity's back. And you might not admit that it's popularity you want, but you're doing those things for that outcome. So my advice to you is time to outgrow the popularity game. Be mature, step into that. You will piss people off. People will opt out of your new mature life because you're not entertaining them anymore. Build for freedom, not for fame. Business is not a popularity contest. It's who stays in the game the longest and builds wealth and builds an ideal life for them. So that's it. That's my advice for those who are at an age where they're just like, right, how long can I keep doing this for? How long can I keep doing this for? This for is usually you playing the popularity game. You just don't know it, but all the signs point towards it. Okay. So anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you're 24 and you feel this way, 25 feel this way, it still applies. But for me, I started to find this over the last few years where I was just like, oh, I don't want to play this game forever. TikTok came into things and I was like, whoa, if that's the game you have to play, get me another strategy. So anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. Speak soon.